I'm going to finish this off by, just asking you two questions that I ask of everyone, and I think that your perspective is going to be, just great to hear. One is, for someone who's sitting there, looking at their relationship with alcohol and don't necessarily know what the first step would be for them to take. You, with all the experience that you have and all of your training and education, what would you suggest to that individual?
The important thing is that you reach out to someone, whether it be a trusted friend or family member, to say, "Hey, I think I'm kind of, I'm not, like I'm not doing well. I'm drinking a little too much." Because even, if you're not ready to like go to a formal treatment program or anything like that, at least you have someone to confide in. Someone that you trust is going to tell you what you need to hear and not what you want to hear necessarily, right? That's
Yeah.
important. We have a lot of friends and family who, God bless them, they support us, but like they don't always give us the best advice or tell us what we need to hear. So it's got to be somebody who's going to keep it real and be that support, but also kind of be that accountability partner, if you will. But I, I would hope that even if you started there, that eventually you would actually get with a professional counselor, a
Hmm.
substance abuse counselor. And I will invite anybody, especially folks of color, to reach out to me directly, and I can find some good counseling in your area that is going to be culturally specific. Like that's what I do. And
Mm.
so that way you can be comfortable with the people that that you're seeking help from. And so there's that. I'm a member of AA, right? That's what works for me, right? So I go to AA. I do online meetings. I have an app on my phone called Meeting Guide.
Okay.
So I can share that link with Ray. You can put it in the show notes or what have you. But there's online meetings happening all throughout the day. There are in-person meetings depending on where you live. And again, you're connecting with other people who know what it feels like to struggle with this disease, and can give you some support in your journey.
I appreciate that. We'll certainly put that link in the show notes as a resource. Last question I have for you, Martin, is, and I think this is particularly important in our communities, just because sometimes when we figure out somebody's struggling, it's a little bit too late for various reasons. In your experience, how would someone have known that you were in a dark spot, that you were struggling with a lot of things without you having told them explicitly?
Yeah, just the amount that I was drinking. My sister, like when she read my book as an adult, she was like, "Martin, like I thought you just liked to drink. I had no idea you were struggling with these internal things." Right?
Mm.
So she saw the behavior. She
Yeah.
just didn't know what was behind the behavior. So if you see somebody who is isolating more, maybe they're not, going out and being with friends or family as much as they used to, or their mood and affect seems to be off, right? Like check on them. Like really check on them. Not, hey, how you doing? Like, hey, how are you doing?
Yeah.
Like I'm
Yeah.
here. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so just to be cognizant and mindful, like the behavioral patterns of your friends and family. When you start to see some changes in that, or if you were out with some friends, a friend, and they're drinking a little more than maybe they used to, like get them by themselves, not in front of the whole group, but just say, hey, I've noticed blah blah blah. Are you doing okay?
Yep.
Do you need some help? I'm here. You know what I mean? And so I think that could really go a long way when people know that others are there for them, that they're not going to judge them, but they genuinely care about them and want to support them.
Yeah. I think it's important in our community to call that out because we oftentimes don't want to touch those conversations because they're also uncomfortable for the person who's making the approach. But we got to do it, because there's too many folks out here who are struggling, feel like they're doing it on their own because they are not under the impression that there are safe spaces even close by that they can turn to. So I appreciate that, Martin.